I ran my cheating husband and his mistress over with my car. Am I the eye-hole? Part 1 of 3. Sorry, I know the title of this post might sound a little extreme, but I promise it isn't as crazy as it sounds. Before I dive into the story, let me add a little bit of background context. Me, 29F, and my husband Larry, 72M, have been together for a little over 5 years. We have 3 children together and have a relatively happy life. We live in a spacious, 6-bedroom, 5-bathroom house in a pretty rural area. Me and the kids aren't allowed into one of the rooms because Larry likes to have a personal space all to himself when he comes home from work to decompress. So it's more like a 5-bedroom house for us, ha ha ha. He works as a software developer at a startup company, and I am a stay-at-home mom. Larry is out of the house from 9 in the morning until nearly 10 at night. Occasionally the time he comes home changes, but he says that it's just the nature of his job. I do the majority of the housework and take care of the kids, which I'm fine with. He spends a lot of his free time going out with his friends and playing video games. 3 weeks ago I booked a reservation at this fancy restaurant for Larry and I's anniversary. It has been a few months since we've been out to eat somewhere nice, so I was really excited about it. Initially, Larry wasn't as thrilled about it as I was when I told him, but I figured it's just because he was worried about finding a babysitter for our children and didn't want to make the drive to it. We live about 4 hours away from the place I picked out, kind of living in the country, I guess. During the weeks leading up to our anniversary, Larry seemed to slowly warm up to going out with me, and by the time it was our anniversary he was just as pumped as I was to go. Our dinner was fine and I felt like we had a lot of fun reminiscing on the good old days back when me and him had first met. The big issue started on the way back. I was driving us home and my husband had fallen asleep in the passenger seat when my phone died. I had been using it for GPS, so this was a big issue. Normally, Larry doesn't like me using his phone because he's worried I'll mess with his settings or something. But I really didn't want to have to pull over and wait for my phone to charge, so I took his phone out of his coat pocket. I didn't know his password, but I was able to use his Face ID to get in. Once I opened up his phone, I noticed he had a lot of unread texts and missed calls, but I didn't think anything of it. I just opened up the maps and got the directions home. I had no idea how bad it was about to get.